Billy Flynn is a very interesting character in the sense that he's always out for himself. He's not going to do anything purely out of the good of his heart, which is ironic considering his first song, all he cares about is love.
I can definitely empathize with her ideas of really lofty, lofty dreams, just being famous and being someone everyone knows and all that stuff. But then having, life suddenly get in your way and you realize it's not really going to be the way you thought it was going to be. So I think by the end of it, she realizes that even though things didn't really turn out how she'd planned it, she's still going to make the best out of it and be at least a semblance of what she thought she was going to be.
Personality types wise, he's timid. He can't really, he never gets noticed. No one ever really gives him the time of day, but he's always there to help out when he needs to. He's just honestly, throughout the entire performance, Amos is just confused. He just never really knows what's going on, but he's always ready to help whenever he can.
So in the past, I've played a lot of really bubbly, quirky characters, and this is kind of my first time in a really raw, edgy kind of role. She's not exactly the villain. She's not. Well, she might be evil, but it's definitely a less moral character than I've played in the past. But I think it'd be fun. It's definitely pushing me to an entirely different direction than I'm used to.
He's shy and timid. I'm not. He's quiet. I'm not. So it's a lot of you can't bring Matthew into it. It's just Amos. Just be Amos.
It was kind of difficult to sort of relate to Billy. I know I've had characters where I've been able to pull in and say, okay, well, this is a part of Andrew that would go well with this character. With Billy, I had to step back and say, okay, I'm not that full of myself. I don't do what I do for money a majority of the time. Money is a necessary evil in the world that we have right now, but it's not a driving force for me.
A lot of it is doing research in the script, finding out what you say about yourself, what other people say about you, and kind of forming a whole backstory and opinion about other people and about yourself, and then using that to communicate with other people on stage. And I find that really when I am in a scene with a person, I find new things about my character that I didn't even know. And it's really refreshing whenever you're in a scene and someone gives you something that you didn't expect, and you have to say, oh, I guess my character is going to react this way now. And that's a whole new level that you didn't even see there before. Really great.
With the homework that I did, I started out by actually examining where the musical Chicago came from. And it's actually based on a novel. And I was actually able to see that there are two lawyers in the original novel that Billy Flynn is a combination of. One, he purely saw women as a way to advertise sexuality. And advertising sexuality is a big part of Billy Flynn's character as well. You can exploit that. And then the other only saw them as being good for exploiting their innocence on the stand. So Billy is sort of a mesh between those two characters, and that's been something that I actually researched that and tried to build a composite of those two people by actually looking into their lives as well.
So Roxy, I've made her from New York, from Brooklyn, and I've used my cousin Vinny as kind of an inspiration for Roxy, and the main girl in there, she's really tells it like it is, from the street, raw, just doesn't care what other people think about her. And I've kind of used that sort of attitude and put a couple other layers of Roxy, who actually does care what other people think about her.
You got your script, you know what you're going to say, you just need to figure out how you're going to say it. So first things first is dialect. So, I watch a lot of reruns of SNL skits where they do da bears, da bulls, that kind of stuff. So I can pick up on how I'm going to sound. And then a lot of my mannerisms are like, taking off my hat and holding it and covering my heart and sort of like,
I mean, I love doing this. I love being able to come out here and be with everybody and work in what I feel is a very professional atmosphere. It's a blast, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
I think it'll be different than the movie, than what people think is going to happen, because it's actually a very different show from the movie, and I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised.
I think that this performance, or these performances in Chicago are going to be some of the best that University Theater's ever seen. Popularity-wise, obviously it's a popular musical, but I just think we have a really, 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 really talented